I've been using Waterbrush pens for over a year now, and today I thought I'll show how I use it. And especially when I'm travel sketching, I just love using Waterbrush pens. They're so great because you don't need a water jar separately and you can paint on the go. You can even stand and paint. You can paint while you're traveling in a bus or a train. So it's really great. But it didn't start off that way. Hi, I'm Sushma Hegde, and today I want to talk to you about water brush pens. So, I started using watercolor brush pens very early on in my watercolor journey when I was just starting off, and I was so frustrated by these brushes. Either the strokes were too dry or they would form blotches of paint and water on my paper, and it was just frustrating. It felt like I was learning an entire new different thing. So I completely gave up on water brush pens after that. But only a year earlier, that is like last year, I said, you know what, I have to give them another try. It's been so long. And that's when I picked up a water brush pen again. And it has helped me so much in my travel sketching over the last 1 year. And I want to show you how exactly I use it and what were the little changes that I made that helped me, use it to its maximum potential, especially when I'm travel sketching. So let's get into all of that today. Okay, so watercolor brush pens come in a lot of different sizes, and the bristles are similar to normal brushes. They come in round, flat, and all these different shapes and sizes. And the ones that I commonly use are that I mostly use are the round medium and the round small. And I really like this one. It's a really nice sharp tip. And I don't know why the sizes are different because it's from the same brand, from Pentel. And I bought it from different countries. So maybe that was the reason. And this one is so nice and handy, the small size. I wish I got a small size of this one as well, but somehow I couldn't find it. So anyway, coming back to this, let me show you how exactly you use it. So when you get it, it doesn't have water inside it, and you just open, like hold the bottom tight, and you just turn this around, just like unscrewing something, and you take it out and you fill water in this, so you can run it under your kitchen sink or your bathroom sink and run the tap and fill it. That's what I do. But there are other ways. If you have a spray bottle or something, and you can just hold it and fill it in with water, and try not to fill it in to the top. So you can see I've filled in water only till this line that they show here, and not too much, because then it starts leaking from all sides. So this is what I do. So this is the amount of water that I've filled, and you close it nice and tight. And I've done the same thing here. So there's water till up to this level here, the line that they show, and then it's nice and tight. And the first thing that I do is I have a paper towel, bunch of paper towel or tissue paper when I'm traveling, and I just make sure it's clean. So first, generally when it's new, it's completely dry. So what you do is you very gently squeeze water, and you can see it starts dripping from here, and you wipe it. Just make sure it's clean. So I've used this a lot. I've used the same exact one for more than a year now. And you can see there's some remnant color. So I'm just squeezing out water every time and just wiping it like this. And just trying to take off all that muddy color in it. Okay, it looks a little better now. Just some gunk in it, I guess. Okay, anyway, so that's how I slowly release water from it. And I do the same thing for the smaller one, just pressing and making sure it's clean. Okay, there was a little bit of green in it. Okay, I think it's fine. So now let's just have a sketchbook with us to try painting with it. So this is the medium size, and what I do is generally I drop in some water from this. You just gently squeeze and the water comes out of the bristles here, and just make everything a little wet, because watercolors need to be reactivated if you've not used them for a while. So just drop in water all over. And okay, so this is my travel palette, and I want to show you exactly what I do when I'm traveling. That's why I took this one. So this is my sap green, and let's say I put it here so you can see it's already nice and juicy because I added some water in it. And if you need, if you think it's too thick like this right now, then you drop in a few more drops of water in this. I added around 3 drops of water and I got a nice thick paste here. And what I generally do is I add a few more drops of water on the side, like not on it, but just on the side. And I just gently mix it here so I have a more diluted version of the same color on the other side. And so it's a little darker version and a lighter version and a more watery version of the same color here. And now I just use it. Now I don't squeeze, I just hold it like a normal brush. And I just draw lines. So I'm not squeezing anything right now, I'm just holding it normally. And if you want a slightly darker version of the same color, go here and just, so you're just using it like a normal brush at this point. Yeah, so, and as you start feeling that your brush is too dry or it's not moving too well, gently go here, drop a little bit of water. So you can see I'm very softly squeezing it so the water just fills up in the bristles even before it drops onto the palette. Just a little bit, it can also drop onto the palette. Then just take that, and so you're squeezing it very gently on this, not very hard. So if you squeeze it very hard, you get multiple drops of water like what we needed here. But as you're painting, you don't need suddenly too much transition of water. You need just little bits of it. So I keep adding it here and mixing it and then going back. So I never directly push and squeeze out the water when I'm on my paper. I just go here just to be safe, and then drop it here, mix it a little bit, and then I come back. That way you know exactly how much water is in the brush and you don't have a sudden puddle falling out on your paper. So that is what helps me. And you can also try making different strokes with this brush. I like that it moves well with this in all these different angles. This is also a great practice, by the way, for different hand movements if you're not used to painting regularly. So just a nice warm-up exercise for your wrist and for your fingers. So just play around with it, and yeah, so I'm just adding a little bit of a darker version of the same color, so on darker tone of it. So I'm just mixing it here, and now I can even drop it in wherever it's still wet and allow it to gently mix. So another great thing is the smaller one. Oops. The smaller brush has very nice tip. So anyway, let me show you how to clean the brush now that you've played around with it. Right now it has lots of paint in it, right? So first you just wipe it so all of that green goes away. And then I gently drop a few drops of color, a few drops of the water, squeeze it out, and then I wipe it again. And I keep squeezing and again wiping like that. I don't, do this. I very gently wipe it in the direction of the bristles and keep squeezing, just wiping till it really reduces. So when you're traveling, sometimes you don't have a big paper towel. You will have just a little bit like a tissue or something. I just go over the wet region and still keep doing it. But if you have the space for a bigger piece of paper, then that's great. Otherwise, just get off as much paint as possible from the bristles and then move on to the next color. And yeah, that's how I do it. So let me show you a quick version with the thinner brush as well. So for this one is really great for painting branches. So let's say we take some of this Queen Gold. So I'm again squeezing a little bit of the water from the brush to take enough of the color. And let's say I'll just add it here. And if you want to make the paint a little more watery, you again drop the squeeze out the water from the brush in one corner and just mix it like that. And yeah, so this is the small version of the same brush. So the bristles are much thinner and you get these nice lines with it, which is great for painting branches like this, or even if you want to paint grass blades. I really use this a lot for grass blades actually. And I'm mixing some green here. So quick flick of the brush. And if I want tiny grass blades, this way. And then let me show you again how I clean it. So right now my brush is filled with color. So I go back to this, wipe it, and gently squeeze it again. So water drops from the brush from here. Sometimes it comes out from here. That's fine. That's why just be careful. Don't do it directly on your paper because the water can come out from here instead of coming out from here. And then you wipe it again and squeeze it out again. And that's it. So that's how I do it. And once I come home, I generally open it again, throw out this water and just let it dry so that you don't want mold forming inside this. And open it and let it dry. And the next time I travel, again, I take it. I generally fill water at home and take it with me. But I've also seen some artists carry a little bit of a I don't know what it's called, but like this squeezing thing where you fill water into it and keep that handy. I've not done that because this lasts a very long time, the amount of water in this. And yeah, that's been enough for me. So yeah, so that's how I use a Waterbrush pen. And you just close it and you're done. So sometimes what happens is the color seeps into this. So you can see the variation of color here. I don't know if you can clearly see it. It's a little greenish here because sometimes the paint seeps inside and yeah, it just stays even here sometimes. And that happens. I just clean it every time. I use a little brush, a thin brush, and clean inside sometimes. So that's a great way of keeping it clean. But yeah, it does happen that sometimes the paint goes inside and stains the water here. Just try to keep wiping your brush every time you're done with some paint so that it doesn't seep inwards. Especially if you keep it upright like this, all of that paint, remnant paint, will go inside. So just be careful with that. And yeah, that's it about Waterbrush pens. I hope the video was helpful and I hope you explore and try painting outside with Waterbrush pens and let me know how it goes.